Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today's story time is quite the interesting one. I was talking to some friends on Discord yesterday. I was hanging out on a call, and one of my friends was asking me one of the weirdest things that happened throughout my YouTube journey. And as you guys know from watching these videos, a lot of weird stuff has happened. So it's really hard to put like a number one weirdest thing. Like, it's hard to rank the things that have happened, Like, if you told me to tell you the top 5 weirdest things, I'd have a hard time because so many weird things have happened, right? But I told him this story, and after I was done telling the story, I was like, yo, I don't think I've told that on my channel yet. I should probably talk about that because it's pretty good. So I hope you enjoy this. Leave a like on the video if you do, and let's get into it. So, as you know, I've talked about it on this channel before, but I've been swatted before. If you don't know what swatting is, which I'm sure most of you do, but if you don't, it's when someone prank calls the police to your house, and they show up, and it's scary. It's really scary. And usually it's not just somebody calling the police to your house, but it's usually like a really crazy made up lie that they tell to the police to get them to send the SWAT team. So yeah, it's really scary stuff, right? So that's happened to me before, and I've told those stories, and they're all pretty scary and crazy, but this one's a little bit different. So this all starts off as a normal day back when I was 17 years old. Now, I had some friends that I actually met online that were visiting my hometown, staying with me and my parents, hanging out. Yeah, I had these 2 friends that I used to play Call of Duty with, like, every day online on Xbox. And I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, can they come out and visit? And she was like, I don't really know. Like, you met them on the internet. But after some convincing, my mom was on board with it, and she let it happen. So yeah, my 2 friends from Call of Duty were at my house staying with me. One of them was sleeping in the living room every night. The other one was in the guest room. And honestly, it was awesome. Now, a few days after they got to my house, I had this idea. I was like, yo, what if we rented an Airbnb together? Because even though I love my mom and my parents, I didn't really want to stay in the house with them and my friends. I kind of wanted me and my friends to have our own place. And like I said, at the time, I was only 17. So at first, when I brought this idea up to my mom, she was very much like, you're not even old enough to rent an Airbnb. You can't do that. Like, how would you even go about that? But the thing is, one of my friends that was staying with us, he was 19. So he could rent one if he wanted to. And we could just chip in for it. So my mom wasn't really on board with it, but after talking to her and like really, pushing for it, I actually got her on board, and she said it was okay under one condition. The Airbnb had to be less than 10 minutes away from where she lived. That way, if anything went wrong, she could go over there and, check on me and stuff. So that's what we did. We ended up renting an Airbnb together. My friend rented it, put it under his name. Me and my other friend chipped in for it, put some money towards it, and we split it 3 ways. And we all went to the Airbnb that day, and we checked in. Now, upon getting there, it was great. It was kind of like one of my first tastes of being independent and living on my own with my friends. It was kind of cool, right? So yeah, it started off great. And the first day or 2 was sick. And they were going to be staying for another week. So we had a whole week in this house. So yeah, the first couple days were great, nothing too out of the ordinary. But on day 3, this is where things get weird. So the day starts off like any other day there. We got up, we made breakfast, hung out there, ate breakfast together. Then we went out, and me and my friends went to the mall for a little bit, came back to the house. And while we were at the house, we had nothing to do. We were kind of bored. So I decided, let me do a live stream. I got my PC here. I brought my setup. I'll do a Twitch live stream. So that's what I did. I went live on Twitch. I played some CSGO Surf. I played some CSGO. And I had face cam on. Now, I wasn't really paying attention, but the room I was streaming in, behind me, there was a really big glass window. It was the sliding glass door. And you could see out of it, and you could see kind of like the general area of where we were staying. I didn't think it gave away that much. It really only showed some of the neighborhood. All you could see was some cars and some houses. I just didn't think much of it. I didn't think it'd be a problem. But apparently on this day, in my Twitch chat, somebody was watching that had the geo-guessing capability of a professional or something, because this dude in my chat, he typed out exactly where I was. He was like, oh, I know where that is. That's on this street. You're definitely in this house. I know right where you are. And this dude essentially just doxes me and gets it right. So immediately, of course, I ban him. I ban him really quick before anyone could see it, or at least not a lot of people could see it. And I thought that'd be the end of it. Well, 5 minutes later, he made a new account, and he was in my chat, and he was listing, where I was at again. This time, he actually had an exact address, but the good news was he had the wrong address. He had the address of the house next to ours. So he was close, a little too close, but he wasn't correct. So I just banned him again, and I kept banning him for the rest of the stream and just carried on. And I thought to myself, like, okay, this guy's probably full of shit. He's probably not going to do anything. He probably won't swap me. He probably won't send me any pizza or something. Like, I'm sure I'll be fine, right? Well, after that, I ended stream after a couple hours, and I went about my night, and nothing really happened. So I thought, okay, I was right. Like, he didn't swap me. He didn't send anything to the house. Like, we're good. We're all right. So fast forward to like 2:30 in the morning, right? I'm upstairs in my bedroom, and I'm tired. My friends are all asleep. One of them's knocked out on the couch downstairs. One of them's in their room. I'm in my room watching Netflix, nodding off, very tired, very sleepy. And yeah, I just start nodding off. I start falling asleep. I start dreaming, and I fall asleep, right? I fall asleep very peacefully, and I sleep for about 2 hours when in my dream, I remember exactly what I was dreaming about. I was on the school bus for some reason. I was on the school bus in my dream, and I was riding to school, and I heard a radio in my dream. Like, it sounded like somebody talking on a radio. And in my dream, I thought that it was the bus driver's radio. Because, school buses, they have that radio at the front that they talk on. I thought it was that. But then, I remember in my dream thinking to myself, wait, that sounds way too real. And right when I thought that, I woke up because I realized I was dreaming. And I opened my eyes to 2 police officers standing over my bed, staring at me. And one of them goes, "Wakey, wakey, Austin." Bro, I thought I was going to jail. I was like, yo, I'm waking up to 2 cops in my face. Like, they're in my bedroom waiting for me. Like, I thought I was about to go to jail for something. I don't know what, because obviously I didn't do anything, but, I was scared, right? And I was really tired and out of it because I just woke up. So I didn't even, have the thought in my mind that I was getting swatted. I thought that, something was going wrong, right? So I look up at this cop and I was like, what's going on? Like, why are you guys in here? And he goes, "Your friend let us in." And I look to my left and I see one of my friends standing in the doorway. And I look back at the cops and I was like, what's going on? Like, is everything okay? And this police officer, the one that said "wakey, wakey," he goes, "Yeah, I think everything's good. We just had to come check on you. We got a call from somebody, a pretty concerning one at that, talking about all these crazy things that were happening here. And upon arriving, that's not happening." Now, I asked the police officer, what the call was about. And whoever called it in said that there was, a bunch of groups fighting in my front yard. Essentially, 13 or 14 people were fist fighting. And the person on the phone also said that, I was the person staying here, Austin, and that I, started it or something. So that's probably why the cops knew my name. Anyway, so after they tell me this, I'm like, yeah, that didn't happen. There was no fights here. I've been sleeping. So have my friends. And I just keep rambling, right? And the cop cuts me off. And he's like, "Listen, I know. Trust me. I already knew the minute we showed up and we saw nobody here and it was quiet. We had a feeling it was a prank. Plus, your buddy downstairs, the one that let us in, he let us know about what you do on the internet and that you got a following. So we kind of had a feeling that's what this was." So the cop actually kind of knew about what swatting was, which was really refreshing because in the past, the cops that had been to my house didn't really know about it. So it was always a tough time to explain it to him, right? Because they didn't understand it. Now, after it had happened a few times at my mom's house, they knew to not show up super deep, right? They didn't show up with the SWAT team anymore. But because we were at an Airbnb this time and I was at a new address, I think when the person called the cops, the people at the police station or the dispatch station, whatever, they probably thought that it was a different Austin, Because usually when this would happen, they just knew it was me off my address. But yeah, since I was at a different address, they showed up deep. They had a lot of cops. Anyway, after I talked to these 2 officers for a while, they, obviously concluded that there was nothing going on. And I walked them downstairs and sent them on their way, said goodbye. They told me to have a nice night and that if they get any more phone calls, they'll let us know. But yeah, when I walked these officers downstairs, when I went down there with them, there were so many cops in the kitchen. It must have been 12 police officers. It was crazy. Anyway, all the cops left. After that, it was just me and my friends, all very tired and out of it and also kind of anxious at what just happened. And we didn't even really talk much about what happened. We all just kind of turned around and went back upstairs to bed. I remember I looked at one of my friends and I was like, damn, that was insane. And he goes, "Yep. All right, I'm going back to bed." And I was like, "Me too." And my other friend was like, "Yep, see you guys in the morning." And I remember I went upstairs and right before I went back to sleep, I texted my mom about what happened. I texted her and I was like, "Hey, don't worry. Don't worry about me. I'm okay. But, I got swatted while we were here, but we're okay." And she actually ended up waking up and calling me immediately after I texted her and I told her what happened quickly. I told her not to worry and made her, feel at ease. Anyway, after this, after I hang up with her, I fell asleep and the next morning rolls around. I woke up later than my friends. I went downstairs to them making breakfast And I remember my friend that was cooking, he looked at me and he goes, "Good morning." I was like, "Good morning, man." He goes, "Yo, did we get swatted last night? Like, did I dream that or was that real?" And I was like, "It was real." And my other friend who was at the table, he was like, "Oh shit, guess that really did happen." And we all just laughed. And luckily the rest of that week, it didn't happen again, which was nice because obviously we were all kind of on edge about that happening again, but it didn't. But it was just crazy. Like, the fact that I woke up to being swatted was insane. I kind of had something similar happen one of the first times I got swatted. Like, I woke up to the sounds of like the police yelling outside, but to wake up to 2 cops over your bed and one of them going, "Wakey, wakey, Austin," that shit is insane. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It was just crazy. But yeah, it was all around just a very crazy, wild experience and just an interesting story time that I thought you guys would enjoy hearing about. I guess the moral of this story is be careful about posting photos of your house and things around your house because there's a lot of weirdos on the internet and you don't want to give away your address to some weirdo. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below and subscribe if you're new. I will see you all later. Peace.
I'm in a bad mood.